very much and welcome to Tuesday Night Titans. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the great uncle of the great Inspector Clouseau, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Merci beaucoup.
You always seem to come up solving the mysteries, Lord Alfred.
Oh, gosh. It's a long time since I've solved a mystery, I think.
This week on Tuesday Night Titans, as you brought out, Andre the Giant to be with us. Without a doubt, the most extraordinary athlete of all time. Unbelievable.
I've known Andre since he was 17 years old. Can you believe that? He was a young wrestler coming into wrestling. He was then possibly 6'10", but just look at him now.
How many times have you wondered, you know, these referees, are they really with it? I think we're going to find out tonight when Dick Roehrlie, one of the fine World Wrestling Federation referees, joins us.
Oh, I got some things on my mind.
I'm sure you do. S.D. Jones all the way from Antigua, who now makes his home, of course, in Philadelphia. And S.D. brought a little surprise along with us this week. His own very special band. We'll be back as we continue with Tuesday Night Titans. We're back, and in a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce to you a gentleman who no doubt is making his mark in the World Wrestling Federation with his karate-style techniques and things of that nature. At this moment, we'd like to introduce to you Tiger Chung Lee. Have a seat, Tiger Chung Lee, listed around 270-plus pounds, a very, very big man.
Thank you, sir.
And I might add, a formidable opponent for any individual in the World Wrestling Federation today. You seem to rely mostly on the karate-type skills and techniques as opposed to the American, more scientific wrestling style. Why?
Well, when I was 6 years old, I was back Korea. We was raised with karate, not called karate. Everybody called karate in the United States.
Yes.
But Korea called taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Yes, that is a defense. Everybody thinks in using to hold people, but not. We have to defend it, and to people to hold, don't get hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
From other people to, try to hurt you,
yes.
We just go and defend it.
So you're saying that Taekwondo really is taught at a very young age, and that it's really taught from a standpoint of defense more than offense.
Yes.
Seems to me that you use Taekwondo, your use of that now, perhaps not then, but certainly now, more in terms of an offense as opposed to a defense. It also seems to me that you've done exceedingly well, both individually using this Taekwondo, as well as collectively having teamed up with, of course, Mr.Fuji. Let's now, ladies and gentlemen, take you to some videotape. We will see Tiger Chung Lee in action, an individual action, I might add, and we'll certainly, no doubt, take a little bit of a look of this Taekwondo. I don't think it'll be defensive. Let's go to the tape.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my right from Korea, weighing in at 270 pounds, it is Tiger Chung Lee. And his opponent in the corner to my left from Brooklyn, New York, weighing 235 pounds, it is Lombardi.
All right, we're set for action between martial arts expert, Korean Tiger Chung Lee, and Steve Lombardi, Brooklyn, New York. Here we go. Tiger Chung Lee with another chop. Martial arts expert. Taekwondo, judo, karate, kung fu. He has incorporated them all together and come up with quite a package. In addition, truly a ring veteran, one of the very, very best from the Far East. And thus far, Lee totally dominating this particular bout with a 235-pound Brooklynite by the name of Steve Lombardi. Lombardi really taking a great deal of punishment in front of this tremendous crowd. Now Lombardi starts to turn the tables and mount somewhat of an offensive, but not for long. Knee lift, and I believe that caught Lombardi in the forehead. Certainly by Lombardi's reaction, one would think so. Another knee to the dome on the part of Tiger Chung Lee. Forearm, and Lombardi just totally incapable of coming up with any substantial offensive at all. Referee checking for the choke. And knowing the background of Tiger Chung Lee, he would not be above choking an opponent if and when he had the opportunity. As you can see on the face of young Lombardi, grimacing. He's got to be in a great deal of pain. Into the turnbuckles, oh, and a shot. Very close to the throat, and again on a part of Tiger Chung Lee. Whip, but oh, reversal. That did not last for long. Look at this. What in the world?
Let him go.
A reverted. He said, that's enough. That's it. A reverse Indian deathlock like I have never seen before. On a part of Tiger Chung Lee, total domination throughout the course of this bout. Let's get the official decision.
And the winner is Tiger Chung Lee.
All right. Tiger Chung Lee getting the Duke. And we see it really take off. Take a look at this action on the slow-mo replay. Lombardi reversed an Irish whip, but Tiger Chung Lee thwarted that effort on the part of Lombardi as he very quickly applied the knee to the dome of Mr. Lombardi. And now take a look at this very unique and unusual maneuver on the part of the veteran from Korea. That is a inverted, if you will, Indian deathlock for Tiger Chung Lee. Tiger Chung Lee, ring veteran.
All right, we are back now with Tiger Chung Lee, and you saw some of the rather offensive maneuvers, notwithstanding the defensive ones as well, Mr. Lee. Now, you're holding over here, of course, your tag team partner, I might add, perhaps former tag team partner from Japan, and this particular item you have over here on your left hand is from Japan, is it not?
Yes, correct. That's correct. This is in Japan. Is long time ago in the samurai. That time, is we do this in Japan. I saw this is using in a samurai sword practice stick.
I see. Mm-hmm. We have seen that from time to time used, or certainly from a psychological standpoint used in the ring. Aside from that, I understand you're going to demonstrate something here, an attempt to break these solid bricks. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, let's take a look here as you set up whatever it is you have to set up. The solid brick you're going to attempt to break?
Yep.
Do you mind if I feel the brick?
Go ahead.
It's all right, thank you. That is a solid brick. Okay, just checking. And you use your hand here to do this, obviously. Okay. Very impressive. Very impressive indeed. No more solid brick. All right, now we have here some of the solid oak that you're going to attempt to break. That's 1 inch thick. I'm sure you're hopeful that you're going to have the same success with the oak that you had with the brick. All right, let's try, and we'll watch this now. Tiger Chung Lee attempting to break the solid oak. Very impressive as well. Solid oak. I wonder, can you break 2 of these at one time? Would you like to try that?
Try.
Oh, very well. Tiger Chung Lee is now going to try 2 of these 1-inch solid oak boards placed on top of each other. I noticed that you tend to yell or scream or something. Why is that?
Because that is concentrated how to break it.
Okay. And did you do anything like this when you were learning Taekwondo way back when?
Yes, I was in the beginning, 6 years old. I started, I learned.
So you don't learn something like this overnight, and we would obviously not recommend it for the viewing public in general. Let's see if you can break now 2 of these, 1 inch. I see you're, oh, excuse me if I may, I believe you are bleeding somewhat, yes.
It's nothing.
Nothing, okay,
Yes.
fine. Tiger Chung Lee is bleeding, he feels nothing. Okay, here we go. Very impressive indeed, I must say. Thank you very much, and we have left over here, we have 3 of these. I don't know how badly your hand is bleeding, but I wonder, Tiger Chung Lee, would you attempt to, perhaps you've never done this before, I don't know that it's ever been done or not. How about attempting to break all 3 of these at one time? Would you do that for us?
Yes, I will.
Okay, fine, let's just move this out of the way. And Tiger Chung Lee now will attempt to break all 3 of these 1-inch solid oak boards. And I think the wrist area is beginning to bleed a little bit more profusely now. There's quite a... All right, fine. Now we get... This takes a great deal of concentration, does it not?
Yes.
All right, fine.
Just don't talk to me if I want to break it, okay?
I will...
I'm concentrating, Mr. McMahon.
Thank you. I will be... Alfred, can you see this?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes,
Okay,
you
I'm
can.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's very good. Sorry.
Alfred,
You
let's
don't
have
mind quiet?
total silence, please, from everyone, please. Very impressive, Tiger Chung Lee. Thank you very much. That is very impressive indeed. And right now, however, we made reference earlier to your tag team partner. I must say your former tag team partner, Mr.Fuji. It seems there's a little rift in the action. Let's go now. We'll go up to videotape footage. We'll see Tiger Chung Lee and Mr.Fuji in tag team action. You will see there's a little dissension among the ranks. Let's go to the tape.
City. Well, I'll tell you, this could go either way, and the fans seem to know it. They're sort of watching expectantly. They don't know who's going to go.
And there was
And nor do we.
put out of the rope just momentarily by Tiger Chung Lee.
And
Big off
kick
it just kicks it right back in.
Sure.
But in the meantime, Sika and that face lock has taken its toll on the star from Korea. Well, a double teaming whip into the ropes. Oh, double clothesline. Oh, followed by a headbutt. Roehrlie, we've got action. Woo. Mr. Fuji, reminiscent of December 7th, 1941, coming in from the blind side, both off and the referee's back turned. Tiger Chung Lee with a series of those martial arts combo moves.
Well, the tag made. Now Sika back in. Appa going to get a breather. Chung Lee taking the short end right now, getting a beating at the hands
Sika to
of
the
Sika.
hair. All right, Tiger Chung Lee going down. Tag.
Seemed a reluctant tag by Mr. Fuji. I don't know. Maybe it's just my impression. They make contact now.
Now there's a couple of those double heart punches to the upper torso.
All right,
Big
tag,
Sika.
tag made again. In Appa, out Sika.
Oh, headbutt.
Right to the breastbone.
Followed by a reverse knife edge by Wild Samoa #1. Mr. Fuji down at a knee. And now all of a sudden, I believe, Appa detected that foreign object again, and I think he was making a move for it. Body slam by Mr. Fuji as he just kind of stands over the large body of Appa. Samoa #1, snapmare takedown. And what has Mr. Fuji got in mind at this juncture?
Well, he's going up with the
He mounts the
stratosphere.
ropes. Could be the cry of bonsai. Nobody home.
Everybody evacuated, and Fuji knows too well it was a bad move. The intention was good. The move started out okay. But Alpha ducked it, and suddenly Fuji in trouble.
Fuji, I think, a little bit worse for wear on the bottom side. Oh, the reverse atomic drop.
Here's Fuji.
Got to pinch a little. Fuji, tag, Tiger Chung Lee. Fuji in bad shape right now. Tiger Chung Lee, toe to the sternum. Pick up, body slam. Tiger Chung Lee now outside of the ropes. Up on that second turnbuckle. Mounts the top one. And he's going to try and make a move. No. Oh, woohoo!
He took it to him.
Oh, the headbutt between the shoulder blades.
Tag made. Sika in. Alpha up.
The Samoans are on a roll. 2 count.
Close, but no cigar. No hooking of the leg. Headbutt. Down goes Tiger Chung. No tag. He was reaching for a tag.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Fuji hung him out to dry.
Dick Graham, let's hold the phone just a second. I do believe that Mr. Fuji turned his back on the tag.
He did, in fact.
Now he's asking for the tag. Tiger Chung Lee.
No!
Oh, he walked away from it. You've got to be kidding me.
I never saw it. Oh.
Never in my life.
He hung him out to dry.
But in the meantime, Sika totally dominating Tiger Chung Lee. And he just catapults him to the canvas. And now Mr. Fuji, ladies and gentlemen, has walked away from the ring.
He's going for an early shower, apparently.
He has walked away from the heat of the battle. Double headbutt.
Oh!
And again, while Samoans, Alpha, Sika, 2,
it's
3.
over. And I'll tell you,
what a change of events during the course of this match. Let's get the official decision.
The winners of this contest, the team of Alpha and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
All right, hold on. Here comes Mr. Fuji back to the ring. I'll tell you what, it's too late now. The best he's going to be able to do is muster an apology.
Come
on. Hold on. Wait a minute.
He's
Mr.
choking him.
Fuji has taken the microphone cord and has wrapped it around the neck of Tiger Chung Lee. There has been a blowout between these 2 allies. No longer so. Karate chop.
Why? I can't understand it.
Outside of the ring right now, Tiger Chung Lee, as you can see, all wrapped up in a cord and a chair and a ring bell. And Mr. Fuji, I cannot believe Mr. Fuji. Oh, don't tell me. Tiger Chung Lee is back on his feet, but out of nowhere, out of left field, appears the kendo stick, that very controversial piece of equipment that goes to the ring with this man every time he is introduced. And Mr. Fuji had better be concerned. Here comes Tiger Chung Lee, kendo stick in hand. And watch out, ladies and gentlemen, this could be it. A blowout has taken place between these 2 allies.
Oh!
Tiger Chung Lee missing. And he is hot. This friendship of quite some time has been thrown out this week here in the World Wrestling Federation between this man, Tiger Chung Lee, and his former tag team partner, Mr. Fuji.
But the funny thing about this, Gene, is suddenly the crowd has turned totally for the Samoans and Tiger Chung Lee and totally against Mr. Fuji. Incredible. Unheard of.
Well, this is absolutely unheard of.
Woo-hoo! That sounds like a challenge to me.
That was indeed a challenge from Tiger Chung Lee, directed straight at Mr. Fuji.
All right, we're back. Now, there we saw you and Mr. Fuji, through the years, have been great tag team partners, but there in Philadelphia, there was obviously a parting of the ways. How do you feel now, in retrospect, having viewed the videotape footage with us? How do you feel about Mr. Fuji? Is there any possibility of you and Fuji reconciling your differences and getting back together as a tag team?
Well, to me, is no. Answer is easy.
Well, then, it was also brought out by, I believe, Gene Okerlund that he had heard a challenge, or at least he thought he had heard a challenge. Did, in fact, you challenge Mr. Fuji on that occasion?
Yes, because he humiliated me, and that all people, front of all people, choke me, and that wire and everything. I want to challenge him, then I want to pin them right in the middle. I show you how Korean is stronger than Japanese.
How would you go about doing that, Tiger Chung Lee? Would you use, it would be a very interesting match should it happen, you would use your martial arts skills against those of Mr. Fuji?
Yes, he knows his Japanese way of martial arts. Which one is better, Korean martial arts or Japanese martial arts?
I don't know. I would like to find out. Lord Alfred Hayes, you have had obviously some experience with from both the Japanese martial arts and Korean. You've seen them both in action. Who do you think would win in a matchup between Mr. Fuji and Tiger Chung Lee?
That is a martial art question in itself. It's a very loaded question. I couldn't give an answer because I have a lot of faith in Lee, obviously.
Tiger Chung Lee's much larger.
But Fuji has proved himself over a long...
Lee has the youth. He's younger.
But Fuji has experience, and experience in wrestling, as we all know, means a lot.
Fuji, again, has been doing a lot of teaming through the years, a lot more than Tiger Chung Lee. Lee, of course, doing more individual action. Tiger Chung Lee, we would like to wish you the best of luck. We certainly enjoyed the karate demonstration and wish you luck against Mr. Fuji should that match happen, or whatever your individual goals might be. Thank you very much for joining us on Tuesday Night Tiger. We'll be back with our special feature matchup in a moment. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, with me, Lord Alfred Hayes, and we're just about ready to introduce to you the special feature matchup. As a matter of fact, Lord Alfred Hayes, a matchup that we have seen in the past originating in St. Louis. B.Brian Blair and Paul Orndorff. It was a great match in St. Louis.
Well, at the time, I thought that Blair was so close to winning that match that he should get another chance, and he kept at it, Blair. His record was unblemished after that, and he did get another chance in one of the biggest arenas, not only in this country, but in the whole of the world.
Yes, making reference to the beautiful Brendan Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands of East Rutherford, New Jersey, just outside New York City. And the rematch was made. B.Brian Blair squaring off against Paul Orndorff. Orndorff, of course, was very much surprised, I would suspect, in their initial encounter. But Orndorff knowing full well the caliber of B.Brian Blair, who was really up for this matchup. Let's take you now to footage at the Meadowlands Arena. B.Brian Blair versus Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful, here he comes right down the runway, and confidence just oozing out of Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. But Red, he's going to have his hands full tonight with B.Brian Blair.
I tell you, he did say that Brian Blair has got a good win record, and it would do more good for Brian Blair to use Paul Orndorff as a stepping stone, because I know that he would certainly like to get a win over Orndorff.
Absolutely.
Contest is set for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing from Tampa, Florida, weighing 262 pounds, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Tampa, Florida, 235 pounds, B.Brian Blair.
Big hand for B.Brian, and Mr. Wonderful doesn't like it. Brian immediately with his ring jacket off, and he is ready and tuned. Look at, he's in great shape.
He is in excellent shape, and he trains continuously. He watches his nutritional program. He goes to bed early. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He is everything that could very possibly take that Paul Orndorff and put his shoulder to the mat.
Orndorff now arguing with referee Dick Roehrlie. Orndorff will not win the argument. Orndorff wants Roehrlie to get Brian back into his corner so that he can disrobe. What a fantastic athlete this man is, Red.
I
Mr.
know.
Wonderful. Well, he doesn't have to take a back seat to anybody.
Absolutely not. He's an all-around athlete, and you're talking about training. He's no slouch when it comes to training. He's in that gym continuously.
Look at that body.
Wow.
You have to respect a man that can do the things he does and look like that, Red.
You bet.
If you don't, you're a fool.
Yes. Well, he's obviously a well-trained athlete.
He has the capability of sealing a casket on your career in a hurry.
Mine's been sealed.
Wow, I think both of ours have, Red, but you know, if he lays that pile driver on you, it could be curtains not only for tonight, but for the rest of your career.
There goes Orndorff getting out of the ring.
Orndorff now speaking to the ring attendant about how exactly to carry his robe back to the dressing room area. Uh-oh, chant going out from this capacity crowd of Paula. He will take exception to that in a hurry. World Wrestling Federation bringing you the best in professional wrestling, and there goes the probably $3,000 worth of ring jacket brought out by Mr. Wonderful. The bell is rung and we're underway here. Or maybe it has not rung. Referee Dick Roehrlie still checking him out. Orndorff doesn't even like to be touched by it.
Not at all. Not at all. But he's going to be touched very shortly here by B.Brian Blair, who's just looking forward to this.
I believe he's doing a little psych job now on Brian. Brian was ready when he stepped into the ring, and before this thing really gets started, Orndorff will have him bent all out of shape, Red. Orndorff taking a hike now. Coming around our way, he could be in for a lot of trouble. He's doing a number right now on B.Brian. Look at Brian pacing.
I tell you, Brian is pacing, but
he's burning energy up too, right?
Yep. That nervous energy.
Oh, you can feel the electricity in the air. Brian hasn't taken his eyes off of Mr. Wonderful since he came out of that runway from the dressing room.
Paul Orndorff telling the referee to get Brian Blair back. He's playing with his mind.
He's trying to sucker him in here. He did. He caught him out of that corner right in the eye, it looked like. Boy, that's all you got to give him, that little bit. Open the door just a little bit, and boy, he's all over you like a new suit. Vicious forearm now by Mr. Wonderful. And another.
Oh,
what momentum behind that.
Everything this man does is solid in that ring. He just shows no mercy to anyone.
Oh. That'll crack your ribs and tear your intercostal cartilage and make you wish you were a jockey. It's all Mr. Wonderful, as right off the bat he did a Pearl Harbor number on poor at this point B.Brian. Elbows right to the top of the head. Look at this. Relentless.
He will not let up. He will not let up. Once he gets his man down, he's just going to stay on him.
High up now. Oh, he didn't only slam him, he drove him down into the mat.
Orndorff going up. Up off the top rope. What is he going to do?
Look out below. No, nobody home. Nice maneuver there on the part of B.Brian.
I believe Orndorff hurt his knee.
Yes, he did, and Brian is going right to work on it. And Orndorff's down on the canvas. Oh! Crowd loves it, and Orndorff is in trouble.
Now, if Brian Blair would just stay on that leg.
Orndorff for the ride. Oh, he caught him with a beautiful kick to the back of that knee as he came off those ropes. And Brian is on fire. Drops an elbow right on the quadriceps. Now a knee.
B.Brian Blair looking in a very good position right at this point. B.Brian Blair is going to, and he does. He goes back with the leverage. He's got the leverage. Paul Orndorff looking like he's might be wanting to give up. But I doubt it. B.Brian Blair looking at the 22,000 capacity crowd here, asking if he should give him another shot.
Look at the pressure being applied to the outside ligaments on the knee of Mr. Wonderful. Wow, he jammed that knee right into the canvas.
B.Brian Blair, he's got something in mind here.
He's going to use some of the ring to his advantage. Well, the knee doesn't bend that way. It wasn't constructed that way. Oh, a chop right to the throat. And Brian drives him in and drops an elbow.
Going for a pin. He did get a 2 count.
Well, he slipped out the back door there.
Brian Blair going back to work on that leg again, which is where he should be staying.
Absolutely. You got a part hurt on this big guy. You take advantage of it. Dick Roehrlie asking him, you want to quit? Orndorff's not a quitter, Red.
No, he certainly is not. He didn't get to where he is by quitting.
It is destiny. It is his destiny to be a champion, Red, within the very near future in the World Wrestling Federation. Mr. Wonderful will be carrying some kind of gold. You can bet on it.
No question about it, but B.Brian Blair may not be the stepping stone that he thinks he is. He may be a stumbling block instead.
Well, he might have underestimated Brian, which is done many, many times, Red, as you well know. That's the worst thing you could possibly do, is underestimate your opponent. You end up with the short end of the stick.
That's right.
Brian now continues. Look at this jam-packed capacity crowd on hand. Knowing the World Wrestling Federation brings them the best in professional wrestling, it's the hottest ticket in town, folks. Elbow there. Stop Brian in a hurry. Brian sort of let up a little bit, Red, on that knee. Can't understand that at all.
And Orndorff is definitely favoring it. There goes B.Brian Blair. Back to that knee again. Now that's where he should be.
Got control once more. Don't want to give Orndorff a shot at you, because once he gets control, he's not going to let up. But I can guarantee you, folks, that that knee will be very sore before this match is over, and will be worse a few days from now.
Yes, for sure.
But it's amazing how these professional wrestlers deal with pain and deal with physical injury. The type of injury that would put a layman at home in bed, they're out here doing their thing with it, Red.
Yep.
Gorilla Monsoon at ringside with Red Bastine. As we look on here. Oh, nice maneuver by B.Brian, and right back to that leg trip, and he's going to go to work on it.
Excellent move by Brian Blair.
He's got that quickness, Red, and he has to use that. He has to use that if he wants to beat the likes of Paul Orndorff.
He read what Orndorff was doing right along. He read that move. B.Brian Blair going to work on Paul Orndorff, looking to get another feather in his cap.
Reaching back here, one of the cardinal sins of amateur wrestling, reaching back. Coach would be right there to slap your hand until you don't do that, boy. That's how you get beat. Both of these men with excellent amateur backgrounds.
B.Brian Blair staying with that leg, and I'm proud of him. It's the way he should be doing. If he's going to get a win over Paul Orndorff, he's got to stay with that leg now. He's got it going.
Might be an excellent time to maybe go for a half crab, Red, and really apply some heavy pressure on that knee area. If that's what you want to do, if you want to use that as a submission hold, it's the way to do it.
He's working it down. Seems to me like he should be going for something at this point.
Look at the balance.
Yep.
This man is an athlete. Look at that! Karate kick to the back of the neck of B.Brian Blair. And does that take some perfect execution to do that?
Did you see that guy get up in the air like that? Wow.
Orndorff trying to get some circulation back in that left knee. Big fist right between the eyes, as that will slow down B.Brian and give Mr. Wonderful a chance to get that blood circulating once more in that left leg. Rake across the eyes with the shoelaces.
I'm afraid that he's getting that leg back in shape again. He comes by and he'll waffle Brian Blair. Then he takes a little walk, gets that leg back in shape.
Oh, rammed his head into the top turnbuckle. Brian now right through the ropes. However, remains on the ring apron. Orndorff had an inkling there to go out after him, but referee Dick Roehrlie made him think about it twice. There he goes now. He's not going to stop.
Oh, wow.
Look out. Oh, he had that head draped right outside the apron, and he caught it right on the back of the head and neck. And now B.Brian Blair down on the concrete floor. And Mr. Wonderful obviously proud of himself. Brian's in trouble, Red.
He's definitely in trouble. You cannot give this man a chance, any opportunity.
There he comes again. He knows he's got a 10 count to get back in there, so he's really timing this thing to his advantage.
He's still suffering with that leg, though. If B.Brian Blair can get his stuff together, get in there and get on that leg again, that's the only chance I can see for him right now.
Orndorff dragged him in, shoots him in, and he ducks a big right hand and a high cross body. He could get him here. No.
Oh. See how fast Orndorff got up?
Close, but no cigar, as B.Brian came with a high cross body. Mr. Wonderful picked something up off the ring apron here. Foreign object of some kind, and raked it across there it is. Raked it across the eyes. This man will do anything to get victory. Nothing is outside his realm. He will pull out all the stoppers. Brian with the right hand, not too much behind it. Uppercut by Mr. Wonderful. Right in the choppers. There might be a few loose ones in there right now. However, he's still hobbling on that left knee. Snapmare takes Brian over. Look at this chin lock. Boy, he's got it reversed. He's got that knee right in the back of the neck. There's a beautiful shot of that by our director. Let's look at how he's applying that pressure and keeping that knee jammed. Right approximately at the external occipital protuberance at the back of the neck.
Did you say that?
Well, yeah, it came from somewhere. Don't know why the referee would allow a man to come into the ring with all those knee pads and elbow pads unless, you know, there's something wrong with him.
Look at that backbreaker. Look at that.
Oh, threw him off like yesterday's garbage.
Wow.
Whoa, that was close. Hot about the slow count. Roehrlie says, I know how to count. Nice knee lift. Jammed the fist and forearm. Orndorff again unhappy about the count.
He is definitely wearing Brian Blair down at this point.
Brian has taken an awful lot of punishment. Blocks the right hand and shoots one of his own. Brian now. Oh, nice reversal as Orndorff goes in. Scoop slam, no.
Whoa.
He ducked behind him. A nice switch by Brian.
It's a roll.
No.
Wow, that was close. As a matter of fact, there's about half of these fans that think that he almost had it.
Brian over that top rope. He managed to hang on. Look at this. He kicked himself back up into the ring, and Orndorff is posing. Look, he thinks it's Roehrlie. Wow! Brian is on fire. Rights and lefts, and now Orndorff thrown in. And he got it right in the lower abdomen. Nice knee lift by Blair. He's up on that second turnbuckle. Oh, big elbow.
Oh. Orndorff is in a very precarious position at this time. Brian Blair going to reconstruct his face a little bit.
Brian going about this very methodically. Slams him down into the canvas. Oh, knee right on the forehead.
Whoa.
Orndorff obviously hurt by that maneuver. Comes back with the right hand. All the way around. Another roll up here. No, he couldn't get the leverage over.
Nope.
He didn't have that momentum going for him. Nice attempt, though. He had the right idea. Uh-oh, small package. He's going to get him.
He got it. Small package.
Went to the well one too many times. The experience, the knowledge, and the ability to look ahead gave that small package its greatest impact. Let's take a look at how. Let's go back in time just a moment here. Here's where Brian has the upper hand. Scoops him up. Goes for that slam, but look at the experience. Look at that step through with the leg. It was all over at that point, and Orndorff knew it. Once he had both legs hooked, it was good night. Let's get the official word.
Wrestling fans, the winner of the match, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff victorious on that occasion. In a very surprise move, that matchup, I'm sure, could have gone either way. Would you agree with that, Lord Alfred Hayes?
I would. There was one time there when I really thought that Blair had Orndorff down for a count of 3, and the referee was just a little bit tardy. Now, that's only my opinion. As a professional wrestler, I thought he was a little tardy. But it goes down in the book as a win for Orndorff.
The position, you bring out a good point. The position of the referee can be crucial in a matchup, because if in fact he is out of position, that extra 1, 2, sometimes even more seconds can be of vital nature.
Yes, they can miss that very first count. And then instead of being on a second and a third count, they're actually on a 1 and a 2, and by 3, he's gone.
We'll further discuss the aspects of officiating in the World Wrestling Federation. As a matter of fact, the referee that we saw in that particular matchup, Dick Roehrlie, will be a subject of conversation. We'll return, continuing with this conversation about referees. When we saw moments ago the matchup the referee was Dick Roehrlie. And Dick Roehrlie is regarded as one of the finest World Wrestling Federation officials. But nonetheless, it seems to me that from time to time, Lord Alfred Hayes, that they really don't see some of the things that they should see being officials.
Having wrestled for many, many years in every part of the world, Dick Roehrlie is no different from a referee here than one in, say, Timbuktu or New South Wales in Australia. They all seem to be the same to me. They make snap decisions. Sometimes, I hesitate to say it, but some of those snap decisions, in my opinion, are wrong.
Well, the very nature of the job itself is, I guess you almost have to be a masochist somewhat to be a referee, I would think. I mean, it's a thankless job, I think, generally speaking. Would you agree with that?
Oh, there's never any credit given, and they do a very hard job of work. And personally, I would never have wanted to have been a referee. It is a very difficult job. But at the same time, I look for perfection in everything.
And the abuse some of them take.
Oh, gosh.
There's verbal abuse, and from time to time there has even been some physical abuse, unfortunately, for some of the officials. If in fact they don't see a particular move and they call it wrong, it can be some bad news. Let's take you to videotape footage now, and we'll show you Dick Roehrlie officiating a matchup.
Well, here's a man that we're not certain can even think straight. You talk about somebody putting a sentence together. This man can barely put one word at a time together, and those are few and far between.
Well, the animal's doing as predicted. The fans just seemingly just cannot.
Oh no! There's that wide hammer, and that's all she wrote. Lombardi could not.
All she wrote
possibly
indeed. That's it.
Contend with the tremendous pain that was dished out by this man. George the Animal Steel getting the Duke by submission over Steve Lombardi. And there's, well, a somewhat surprised look at a part of a fan. Let's go back. And actually, this is more action. Come on, ref, get on his case. Reverse the decision for once. You can see the foreign object there.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Oh, come on. This has got to come to an abrupt halt.
Dick Roehrlie smashed across the ring and out, down and out.
Roehrlie is out of it.
There was a suspension for the actions of George the Animal Steel and quite a heavy fine as well after that matchup. Nonetheless, the individual, one of them, feeling the brunt, the attack of George the Animal Steel, our next guest to join us now, Mr. Dick Roehrlie. Some are booing, some are cheering. Dick Roehrlie, I guess maybe you're somewhat accustomed to that, are you not?
Well, we usually get that in almost every performance. There's always someone that's happy with your job, and there's a few that's disenchanted, I always say.
Let's go back and refer to the piece of tape that we saw moments ago. Gene Okerlund was there at ringside, and he said, "Come on, Mr. Referee, do something about it." Unfortunately for you, you did. I don't know what you said to George the Animal Steel, but you promptly went over and said something to him. What did you say to the animal to instigate him striking you?
Well, as soon as I said he was going to be fined by the commission, I just turned my head. The next thing I know, I was waking up on the floor. The man is, it's what they call him, the animal, and that's just about what he is. It just came from nowhere.
Well, surely then it would seem to me that not only you, but other officials coming into a match, knowing that someone like George the Animal Steel, or someone else for that matter, is capable of doing what we saw him do to you, is it that intimidating? It has to be.
Well, I'll tell you, Vince, it's, you have a few like him, and you have to be very careful. I thought I was careful in that match. I thought I was far enough away, yet trying to tell him I was going to have him fined if he didn't stop, and out of nowhere.
All right, then let's take it one step further. If, in fact, we can accept the fact that you're intimidated as anyone would ordinarily be as an official coming into the ring with the likes of George the Animal Steel, then aren't you going to be somewhat reluctant to cause too much concern? Aren't you going to let the rules sort of dangle a little bit in terms maybe being a little loose, maybe even from a standpoint of being somewhat prejudicial in favor of someone like George the Animal Steel, because in fact you're afraid, perhaps justifiably so, that he is in fact going to strike you?
Well, Vince, this is true. This man has been fined so many times. I don't think money means anything to him, to have him fined. You know there could be trouble with this guy as soon as you start the match. You definitely, you have a little leeway with him because you know how crazy he gets.
But there are others in wrestling as well that are capable of on occasion completely losing it, perhaps taking it out on you should you interfere too much. I mean, there's a fine line there, isn't there? A fine line between being objective and being somewhat subjective because of your personal fears.
Well, true. I like to think I fear of no man in there. That's why I believe I get flattened out as much as I do. I try to stay right on top of these guys. I tell them I'm going to find them, I'm going to stop the match. And then what the audience and other people see is when the other fellow does something, it's okay. But as soon as, like, say, George the Animal Steel will do something, that's bad business.
All right, what we would like to do is to show you some more videotape footage of another unfortunate incident as related to an official officiating a matchup involving, I believe, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Let's go now to the videotape footage. All right, now here, Dick, these two fellas really going at both of them obviously using their fist. Why isn't the referee interjecting himself now and making them to use the open hand?
Well, he's probably telling both men to use the open hand. But if both men are using fist, he's going to allow it.
Yes,
Probably if the one kept fighting with the fist, he might disqualify him and give the match to the other fellow.
So it's really, it's really subjective on the part of the referee. I mean, the referee, to a certain extent, has the power to control. Look at that. Now, Rocky Johnson going after his opponent, Greg Valentine. Unfortunately, here, the referee simply got in the way of the action. I mean, there's an art to staying out of the way of the action, too, is there not?
True. You try to stay away from the action, but these fellas get into the heat of battle.
Ooh.
And when they do, they just lose control of themselves. And whatever's in front of them, they're swinging away. It's happened before, and I'm sure it's going to happen again. You try your best to stay out of the way. Naturally, you don't want to get hit. I've had more injuries than I can shake a stick at, but it's just what happens.
All right, here now, the official coming around, as we saw there, and giving the timekeeper the cue to ring the bell. Nonetheless, the official was knocked about. On occasion, it is unintentional. On occasion, it is intentional. But you, let's get back to, again, not that we're necessarily picking on you as an official, because you are, as well as far as I'm concerned, one of the finest World Wrestling Federation referees ever. It's, we stated before, somewhat of a thankless job, but we'll get back to that. Right now, let's speak of the power that you have in the ring. You really have the power to control the match almost to the extent to determine the winner. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's true, Vince. There's many a times.
I mean, that's an awesome responsibility.
It is, and you think about it while you're in there. You have two tremendous wrestlers going, after a lot of big money, a lot of prestige, and climbing the ranks for championship matches. And you try to be subjective. If one fellow's doing something a little out of the way, you sort of let this slide by to keep the match going. I could go out there and disqualify every guy. We wouldn't have a match out there. I try to let certain things go.
Makes sense.
It's like Mr. Hayes says, he thought there should have been a 3 count. But from where he was watching on that television and from where I was, I could see where the shoulder was coming up, where Lord Hayes couldn't.
Well, again, we can see an awful lot from television replays and whatever that you, being in the ring and being in the heat of the action, cannot see. There's no doubt about that. But I'm sure you are keenly aware, and I've been keenly aware, some of the stories you're told before broadcast about coming out from an arena in which there was a very unpopular decision. It can take its toll on someone, can it not?
Believe me, I've been chased down alleys. I've parked my car 2 blocks away from the place. Always park the car where you can just drive right straight out. Because I've had them coming after me with chains and bottles, and if they get a bad decision, you got to go out the coal chute window and out the back alley.
Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you not going out the coal chute alley or at all in the future, and we certainly wish you the very best of luck, Dick.
Well, thank you, Vince.
Thank you for joining us, Dick Roehrlie, here on Tuesday Night Titans. And Dick Roehrlie, one of the fine officials in the World Wrestling Federation, and as you can hear, it's time for the music. The sound of the band from Antigua can mean only one thing. Our next guest is here, Special Delivery Jones. S.D. Jones, making his home now in Philadelphia, but originally from Antigua, and you've obviously brought along a few of your friends here with us, and we certainly appreciate that, S.D. Your career as of late has catapulted. Seems to me that you're really taking giant strides as of late. S.D., how do you account for that?
Well, I've got to do this, Vince. For 10 years, I've been there, and I've done everything I can to get it catapulted, and somehow it's going pretty good now. I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything I can. I'm watching tapes. I study the wrestlers. I go outside from the arenas, and I look around, and people talk to me. They tell me my mistakes. I'm trying very hard. Did you see my band?
I sure did.
They're from Antigua, man.
Yes.
Antigua, the West Indies, man. We got a very nice little island down there. It's about 75,000 people. 108 square miles down there. It's beautiful down there.
How often do you get home, S.D.?
Well,
not often enough?
I'm sorry, I can't guess it now, really. It's hard to say. The last time I was there was 1969.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. You must miss it?
Time approximate, hard work, This is my life. I have to do this. I'm a professional athlete. I need it all over the world. I've been everywhere, so I'll get down there. When I get back, we're going to have some good times because everybody's waiting for me to come home.
When did you leave Antigua and break into professional wrestling?
1967, I came here with my uncle who lives in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And I was doing boxing. But I wouldn't get away from the weights, I'm a weight freak. I'm a weight freak.
Yes.
I love to lift weights.
Obviously, yes, it shows.
All the guys who looked me over, they thought I could do something, but they told me, I have to get away from the weights because I'm going to get muscle bound.
Right.
Sorry, I got a cold. So I wouldn't stay from the weights. I wouldn't get away from it. Unfortunately, one day they says, look, man, we can't do nothing with you. You got to go. I said, why? I said, look at you, man. You look like a big piece of rock.
Let's take a look at S.D. at a big piece of rock in the ring right now. Let's go to the videotape Special Delivery Jones in wrestling action. Obviously, the big rock is going to pay off.
On top of the action, we've got a capacity crowd on hand this week. Auditoriums, arenas, coliseums, the various gardens of the United States, Canada, throughout the World Wrestling Federation. I have never seen a higher level of fan enthusiasm for this, the king of sports.
Gene, that is because of the participants. I don't think there's ever been a time in the history of wrestling when the wrestlers themselves have been of such a caliber.
We've got a slugfest going, a series of rights and lefts and a headbutt by S.D. Jones. And a pin as he very alertly, very astutely hooked a leg and pinned 295. Dan Green from Rooster Creek, Kentucky. That man right there getting the Duke. A great win, another great win, I should say, for S.D. Jones.
S.D. back with us, and now we saw him in action. S.D., you really do get it all together, don't you?
Yeah, I'm trying really. It's a long road, you get to the peak at age 15 years in this business, 20 years, it does not come overnight.
No, for
you
sure.
have to work hard, I've been there, I've had a broken shoulder once, my ribs are fractured in San Francisco, or Greg Valentine pulled my leg out one time. Everybody knows about these things. And the most important thing, though, the fans are with me, and my rating stays way up the top, whether I lose some, I win some. That's the name of the game. You know, for a professional athlete, you know, you have to be ready to lose and win. You just can't say, hey, tonight we're going to win it all. That's great. But then when you lose, you say, oh, forget it. No, you keep on trying and trying. I'm trying. I'm really getting there.
Perhaps that's one of your secrets, then, is the fact that you try so very, very hard. It's a never-say-die type of attitude, right?
Yes, especially the kids them keep telling me that one of these days you're going to be a champion, you know, and I've got that in my mind, you know. I've been everywhere, all the major arenas in the world, you know. A lot of athletes, like one old-timer told me one day, he says, listen, kid, in our days, when we were doing this sport, our biggest thing was to make Madison Square Garden. Once you get there, it's all over with. But today, us, the new generation, our biggest thing is to have that thing around our waist, 13.5 pounds of golden leather. Once we get that there, man, it's all over. We're at the top, because I've been to the Garden, I've been to Europe, all over the place. And it's there, you know. That doesn't bother me. I want to get that piece of thing and take it to the kids and say, this is SD, and it's all over for me.
Well, you've been everywhere, no doubt, and more places to come, but here on Tuesday Night Titans, you brought with you all the way from Antigua.
Antigua and a couple of guys from Trinidad, and they are the most beautiful music you can ever listen to.
Let's go up, strike up the band, boys. Let's hear it. We're back, and while we were away, the mailbag arrived. Before we introduce to you our next guest, Lord Alfred Hayes. How about reading us a little tidbit from the mailbag?
Well, if my heart will keep still, I'll try. Appropriately, dear TNT, that was explosive, wasn't it? Where I live, this is from Parkersburg, wherever, Wyoming. Where I
West
live
Virginia?
Up here, pardon, no,
Parkersburg, Wyoming.
Parkersburg, Wyoming.
All right.
Where I live up here, there's nothing to do except look forward to our favorite show, TNT. We will be visiting friends in Los Angeles soon. Do you have wrestling matches there? We would like to see the wrestlers in person. Peter Fieldhouse.
Well, as a matter of fact, our next guest could have made Parkersburg, Wyoming in his heyday. We'd like to introduce to you now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Altamore. Have a seat.
Nice to meet you. Sounds like my daughter out there.
All right, Tony Altamore. This, of course, the nostalgia moment on our program. And, Tony, you, of course, have been with the World Wrestling Federation for a number of years, principally in a tag team.
Yes, Vince. In fact, I've been around so long that when I was a small little boy and my dad used to take me to the wrestling matches, my idol was Lord Alfred Hayes.
That long? That long?
You're much older than I.
Huh?
Oh, don't worry.
Oh, no, I don't think so, Your Lordship. I remember you back in those days when we wore sneakers instead of boots at the time.
Speaking of nostalgia, let's take you now to some videotape footage. And, Tony, I think you will recognize some of the individuals here. It'll be Sonny King and Chief Jay Strongbow. When Jay Strongbow first entered the World Wrestling Federation, still going strong. Yeah. And the opponents will be Baron Mikkel Cicluna, who has since retired, and his partner, King Curtis Iakea from Hawaii. I'm sure you recall vividly the antics and the skills of King Curtis, do you not?
Oh, by all means. He was in a class all by himself. He had more moves and more situations to get involved in than anybody I know.
He had an English mother.
I beg your pardon?
He had an English mother.
King Curtis had an English mother?
Yes.
I think his
We
father
will not
was
show the
Italian.
mother in this footage. Let's go now. We will join this matchup in progress. Let's go to the videotape. Nostalgia it is. So that was a look of some of the action of old. Speaking of which, let's show you Tony Altamore. Tony Altamore now, well, I guess when is this?
That was 1962 in Gary, Indiana, in the dressing room, and
all right, there. What a snarl. Look at that expression on your face. What do you weigh there, Tony?
I was about 260 at that point in my career. I was about 260 in great shape at that time.
260. All right,
Yeah.
but then from there, you chose to team up with an individual who no doubt changed your life forever and all time, Captain Louis Albano.
Well, many people wouldn't recognize that flick right at the time. But
That's
a
Lou
picture of
Albano behind you?
Behind me, and there's me, and it's around 1963, just prior to us winning the United States Tag Team Championship. And from that point on, Lou and I had a charisma that went on and on for 13 years, probably the longest surviving tag team in the history of professional wrestling. We logged 1,300 miles. At that time, Lou Albano was wrapped kind of tight. Since then, he's got some old furniture in his attic right now. But
Does he? Here, there's a look. There's There was a photo,
Yeah, that's the original Sicilian tag match. That was the most, as I say, the most controversial tag team.
You said he's not wrapped too tight. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, Lou, as the years went by and time went on, he became more and more obsessed with money and more obsessed with taking over on people's lives. And after about 13 years of a great tag team champion and logging 1,200,000 miles together, his obsessions became to the element where he thought that he might like to manage people and manage their money rather than work so hard in the ring. He thought there might be an easier way in this profession. So as he discussed it with me, I wasn't particularly crazy about the idea. I didn't like the idea of managing people and their money and so forth, but he thought that was more important than anything. So we had sort of a drifting apart situation at that point, and then he went on to manage some people and took their money and invested in diamond mines in Utah and snake farm in Uganda, something like that, where, and then aphrodisiacs are drinking snake blood. He's selling 100 rattlesnakes from a farm in outside of Dallas, and they would have lost all their money. Yeah.
I think we definitely have the picture
we're
here.
Strictly out of my league at that time, and Lou and I had a little drifting apart at that point.
All right. Well, Tony, thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thank you, Vince.
On TNT. Strike up the band, boys, because coming back will be S.D. Jones to join his band from Antigua, and, of course, the highlight of it all, the most extraordinary athlete of all time, Andre the Giant, will be with us. Thanks again, Tony. We're back, and before we bring out our very special guest this week, Andre the Giant, right now we'd like to take you to the Pace Setters, all the way from Antigua, thanks to Special Delivery Jones. We're just about ready to introduce to you the individual who is no doubt is the highlight of the entire show, as he'd be the highlight of any show. But right now, we would like to introduce to you part of Andre the Giant. It's Andre the Giant's jacket. Lord Alfred Hayes has on Andre the Giant's, hello, has on his jacket. I mean, this is not his overcoat. This is not a top coat.
Isn't it incredible? Oh, just. Oh, excuse me.
That's unbelievable.
It is, isn't it? Look at the size of this man, isn't this? Gosh. This will keep you warm in the Arctic.
The man who wears that jacket is the most extraordinary athlete of all time. He is undefeated in professional wrestling. No one has defeated Andre the Giant. Let's take you to some videotape footage. We'll join the matchup in progress. Andre against individual competition.
You've got to be kidding.
Smirnoff tried. Look at, oh my goodness, Smirnoff's in trouble.
Watch this.
Uh-oh, and kaboom!
Well, these fans here certainly recognizing the talents of Andre.
Oh my, look at that. Kick to the chest, another one now to the shoulder area, and Alexis now turning this matchup around.
The only way he could do it, Vince.
Andre was waiting for a back body drop, thinking the momentum perhaps of Smirnoff would carry him out. Smirnoff put on the ropes and really gave Andre a boot into perhaps the throat area.
Well, it certainly had to be strategically placed because it obviously has done some damage to the native of Grenoble, France.
And Smirnoff stepping over Andre now to apply more pressure, but under normal circumstances, he would have to keep up the attack that he had going for himself earlier on. Perhaps from a strategy standpoint, from where we sit, that would be the best thing to do. Then again, perhaps damage has been done to the left arm and shoulder.
Listen to this crowd heat up. There's no doubt about it, the multitudes going with Andre the Giant. Tremendously popular all over the world.
Smirnoff, what a kick that was to the head. I don't care how big you are, you have to feel that.
But look at the big man, oh, Vince. He's back on his feet. That's step number one of the comeback trail.
Smirnoff. Oh, my. A grazing right hand by Andre. And another kick by Alexis. Chop to the throat area. That'll keep him at bay a bit. Another chop. And another one. Andre raking those chops across the headbutt by Andre.
Tough for that man to pick up a hat off the rack.
And Alexis is again on the outside of the ring, collecting his thoughts.
Cobwebber, too, having to be cleared as a result of this man, Andre the Giant's devastating headbutt.
Smirnoff now back in, and Andre right on top of him. Headbutt by Andre.
Oh, he's not going to let go, Vince.
He did not. Whip to the ropes coming up. Huge boot by Andre. What's going to happen now? Oh, my. 1, 2, and lights up for Smirnoff.
Count him out. Holy cow.
They do love him everywhere. Andre, one of the most extraordinary athletes of all time.
You can say that again. Andre the Giant victorious there in individual competition. Thus far undefeated. However, I would suspect that undefeated streak will not hold up forever, Lord Alfred Hayes.
No, but every time I see Andre, it still makes me gasp inside. I still can't grasp that this man is so huge, so devastating.
And I might add, having the intelligence to go with his body size.
Oh, really?
Extraordinary athlete will be back, and we will promise you to have with us, yes indeed, Andre the Giant. Well, throughout the entire TNT Tuesday Night Titans, we have saved the best for last, no doubt of that. The most extraordinary athlete of this or any other generation. Without further ado, we will now introduce to you the one and the only Andre the Giant. Please sit down, Andre. It is a pleasure to finally have you on TNT. It has been it's been with a great deal of effort because of your extraordinary schedule. Finally, we have you on TNT. I don't think...
That's not my fault.
No, definitely not.
That's my manager.
That's
true. He's not giving you too much time.
He doesn't. He must be a son of a gun. But nonetheless, you're here, and that's all that counts, and we certainly...
My pleasure.
Oh, my goodness. But you've been on so many shows, Andre. You've been on the Johnny Carson show so many times.
Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin.
$6 Million Man.
All of the movies. You've been in so many different...
Bear,
yes.
Great American Zero, The Fall Guys.
And a new one now, Mickey and Maude. Now, that has to be a lot of fun.
That's a show. That's not a show. That's a movie.
Yes, an upcoming one,
major
right?
Movie, yes.
Mickey and Maude.
December.
And I would think that you had a lot of fun making that, considering the
cast. It was
of
fun and not too much fun. Because I have to tell you one thing. I was in that set, and I was surprised when I have to shoot that movie, Big John Studd was in that movie too.
He was.
And that was a big trouble. Because I was so angry about Big John Studd all the time, and he have to be in the same movie where I have to play. And I was not relaxed at all. Not at all. Because he was there all the time, and even the producer, Blake Edwards, make me to stand up next to him, and I...
Well, you obviously don't like Mr. Studd, right?
I was not feeling too good.
Well, if anyone...
But there was a movie, anyway.
Well, but if anyone can measure up to you, almost, maybe it would be Big John Studd. He's a huge man. Alfred, you've seen Big John Studd in action.
Yes, we had him on the program
Yes.
once, and he's just a tremendous size. Andre, you have...
What do you mean he's tremendous size? He called himself a giant. I thought he is.
Well, he is not as big a giant as you, but he is a giant.
How much you weigh?
He weighs about 360 pounds.
Man, that's put him in Sky Lolo class.
Well, he stands 6'10".
7'4".
I know that just too well.
How much you weigh?
Just over 200 pounds now.
I just lost 100 pounds, and I used to weigh 560 pounds.
Gosh.
You just lost a person at 100 pounds. Incredible. Yes. When you go to Japan, you gain a lot of weight, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Why? Is the cooking, I mean, you enjoy that?
No, it's not that. Those Japanese people, I love the Japanese people, they're so small, and they can believe it to see a big person like myself.
Yes.
And they want to feed me all the time. They feed me like 26 hours a day.
So
you can believe it.
Is that right?
Oh.
Andre, your clothes, I mean, it's,
Alfred. The Japanese made it.
Really?
Yeah, that's come from Japan.
No wonder it didn't fit me.
All my clothes come from Japan, except my boots. Just like they said, everything is big, it's come from Texas. El Paso, Texas.
This comes from where, El Paso, Texas?
Tony Lama.
Tony Lama makes those boots.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that.
I just called him last week, and I ordered another 12 pounds. Another 12 pair.
I think maybe 12 pounds is right. How much does that
for
boot...
me and 10 for Sky Lolo.
Andre, how much would this boot weigh? It would weigh 12 pounds, maybe more.
I would imagine.
Oh, I don't know, but...
Look at the size of it.
I don't have to go in the gym when I walk out in the street with those boots.
No, I wouldn't think so. That's nothing short of incredible. What about some of the... Oh, no problem. Anything you want to do is just fine with Lord Alfred Hayes and myself. Whatever.
You know how long I know this guy?
Lord Alfred Hayes?
Yes.
How old? How long?
Since I first started in wrestling.
Tell me about that, Alfred. As a matter of fact, you had an encounter in a magazine. You were
yes.
relaying to us about Andre.
I wrote a true story. A promoter phoned me one day. He said, "Go and pick this young lad up, 17, a wrestler who is just beginning." He said, "and take him to a town, I forget the town where it was, and I think it was Port de Versailles, just outside Paris. I was living."
That was the name of it.
Yes.
The bar we were supposed to meet to.
I think it was. So I went there, and here was this young lad of 17. But in fact, he was about 6'10" and weighed about 280 pounds and dwarfed me then. Little did I ever realize he would grow almost another foot.
Compare your hand with Andre's, will you, please? You're a big man, Lord Alfred. Oh, my goodness! Where did you go? Lord Alfred Hayes, Where did you... Unbelievable. Oh, please do it again. Please cover it again, will you? That's better. That's the best you've ever looked. Andre, have you ever been to Antigua? We had, of course, the band on earlier. Have you ever been to Antigua?
Yes. I was there 9 months ago.
9 months ago?
Yeah.
Well, you've been everywhere, I guess, really. I mean,
Yeah.
every little small island and everything. Then.
All over the world except the communist country.
Yeah.
What you asked me that for?
Well, earlier on, the band was out playing and whatever it may be, and SD was...
I see SD dancing. Well, I don't think he's dancing like Antigua.
Well, earlier on, he was singing when we were out, you know.
He was singing?
Yes.
Can I sing a song, too?
You're going to sing a song?
Yeah.
By all means, let's have...
Oh, I want to hear it.
Antigua is a small island, just like Japan. And last time I was in Japan, the Japanese people, they couldn't believe the way I sing that song.
You have a song you sing?
The fish song.
The fish song.
Can you let me sing that?
By all means. Let's have Andre the Giant
Yeah.
sing the fish song. It should be great. I've never heard Andre the Giant sing before, Alfred.
It's going to be an experience, believe me. Gosh, just look at him up there.
Yes.
With those chaps.
Andre is going to sing the fish song.
Do you think
Vince, since I'm there, why you not come with us to play some music too?
You would be.
I have to play the music too, anyway.
Well, I'll be delighted.
Go ahead.
All right.
I think you ought to, don't you?
Okay, I'm gonna just let you guys start to play some music, but very slow, and I'll let you know when the music be right, and then I will start to sing. Okay?
So we're all to play very slow.
Yeah, some slow music.
Something soft, maybe?
Yeah.
Slow and soft.
Yes, please. 2 fast. That's 2 fast, yeah. It's too loud. Yeah.
I think it's too much. It's got to be right.
Yeah, right. Betty, where's Betty?
Betty. Betty.
She left.
Step down. Betty. Betty. Come on, you. Andre, that's all right. We're not.
No, don't stop, don't stop. You're doing good.
Okay. You're doing good. Don't stop.
This is our makeup girls.
Yes.
And can you handle the microphone for me, please?
Sure.
Okay. Keep going. But no, wait, I'll be back with the whale song.
We are back from Andre the Giant's debut singing the fish song. Andre, of course, obviously one, I guess, the largest athlete in the world today, but we're about ready to take you to some videotape footage involving a 400-pound Ugandan, huge Kamala. Let's go now to the videotape footage of the Ugandan giant.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Puerto Rico, weighing 231 pounds, Jose Luis Rivera. His opponent, now entering the ring area, from Uganda, weighing 400 pounds, Kamala.
Kamala, where is he?
Oh, my goodness. Has Freddie Blassie found something here? The Ugandan giant.
Kamala is being led to the ring by his manager, Fred Blassie, and assisted by the man Friday.
Holy Toledo. Have you ever seen anything like it in your life?
Unbelievable.
Look at this.
What a monster of a man. Mammoth, huge.
Oh, my goodness.
Kamala with his respective managers, Friday and Freddie Blassie. Blassie in there, giving instructions. And wait a minute, Friday is ushering Kamala back to the corner. And Friday attending to his Ugandan giant. Huge monster of a man. My goodness, he's big. Tony, have you ever seen anything quite like this man?
I have never. I am in absolute awe of this man. This is the first time I've ever seen him. I never heard of him before. Where did Fred Blassie get this guy? Heavens above. It's unbelievable, Vince.
He is just huge. I don't know what Jose Luis Rivera is thinking right about now.
I'd be thinking about leaving the ring.
There's Friday, putting all the little goodies there in his box. And the bell that's rung, Kamala with a chop. Kamala with another chop. Ooh, with an elbow, and down goes Jose Luis Rivera. To the rope now, off. Ooh, ah! Kamala, look at this. What agility.
He can move for a 400-pound man.
Just chopping away in the trapezius area. Oh, wow, in the back of the neck.
And he's not letting up at all, Vince. He's just going in and just chopping and chopping.
Quite the aggressor, to say the least. Up high goes Jose Luis Rivera. Tremendous strength of the Ugandan giant, Kamala. Oh, my, really delivers those chops with authority now. Bending over now, taking a little direction, perhaps, from Freddie Blassie and Friday. Off the rope. Double chop to the pectoral area. Oh!
Right across the back. Oh, my.
Oh, no.
Not again.
Oh, no! Kamala rolling his opponent over, and that's an easy victory.
A most impressive Ugandan giant. There we saw for the very first time Kamala. He is something else. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of Kamala in weeks to come. We'll be back as we continue with a word about the next TNT. We're back, and we certainly hope you've enjoyed this week's TNT as much as we have enjoyed presenting it to you. Andre the Giant, of course, to highlight the entire show. Did you know that Andre could sing as well as he did?
I didn't hear him sing. I saw that huge mouth open and close several times, no words.
The Fish song.
Yeah, incredible, wasn't
He
it?
took us all on that one.
He did.
Andre to return, by the way, hopefully, for more TNT in weeks to come. Andre stated he'll return and do the Whale song.
That must be such a big number, a whale.
Yes, much bigger than the Fish song. Speaking of big, however, Andre the Giant, by the way, for the benefit of those of you in Salt Lake, we don't get much of an opportunity to see Andre. Andre's in a battle royal in Salt Lake this Saturday night. We wish him all the best of luck in that. And speaking of big men, on the next TNT, 460 pounds, I believe, a man from Stone Mountain, Georgia, Crusher Blackwell. Join us.